Good news, good people, good life. Los Banos today.
Good morning. I'm Bruce E. Rivers. You're watching Los Banos Today. Los Banos Today is brought to you by Santos Ford, the Central Valley's king of trucks. Call them today at 209-826-4921. Let me say that again, 209-826-4921. You can find them located at 617 West Pacheco Boulevard. Don't forget that name, Santos Ford, the Valley's king of trucks. How you doing, Mr. Vern? Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
Hey, so we got our Stetsons on.
Hi, Vern. How are you?
Nice to see you.
I like all the cowboy hats we have today. Woo.
I knew I was wearing this thing for the right reason.
We may have to go shopping.
Yeah, I know.
Ladies and
There are
gentlemen,
places.
We could probably find a cowboy hat or a cowgirl hat
Yeah.
somewhere here in Las
ladies and
Vegas.
gentlemen, sitting to my left is our own deputy sheriff. Not a deputy sheriff. You're not
No.
a deputy
The
sheriff.
sheriff.
You're the sheriff.
The sheriff.
The sheriff, Merced
Sheriff Warnke.
County Sheriff Vern Warnke, who has graciously come over and to sit with us and tell us about. I'm gonna let the questions come from the ladies. I'm just excited. I remember when he first ran, and I was supposed to do the invocation at his dinner, and I was out of town.
Oh, no.
You seem to be out of town a
Yeah,
lot.
Well, I travel. I am a national
Target.
Yeah, there you go.
Rolling Stone gathers no moss.
That too.
Yeah, but I'm a national speaker in the pro-life arena, and so that's where I'm getting ready to go Monday. I'll be in New York for the March for Life New York,
Very nice.
and me and my wife, we're a team, and so I was out of town when he first got elected, but I was there. I met you at Gutierrez's place.
Okay.
At the dinner, we had a barbecue over there. That's the first place I met you. And congratulations on being the sheriff.
Thank you
And
very
You've
much.
done a great job.
Thank you.
And then I've seen him, and when I be at the meetings, praying and different things. So I'm very honored and proud to know Sheriff Vern is an asset to our community, and I'm thankful for him. Ladies, get him.
Well,
We're excited
We're
that
excited.
you're on with us. Thank you so much
You're
for
very welcome.
you.
coming
Thank
out.
you.
Thank you.
And we're really curious, what made you decide you wanted to be sheriff?
yeah.
What brought you to that
gosh.
decision?
Well, back in a little log sheriff's house.
Oh, Sheriff.
You know, it's one of those things growing up. I started out as an Explorer Scout with the Sheriff's Office in 1974.
Wow.
And, wanting to be in law enforcement, especially with the Sheriff's Office, it was just something that you grew up wanting to do. And then never once thought that I'd be sheriff. Never once that I thought I would run for sheriff. And when our prior sheriff decided to pull the pin, and he did it really quickly, it left a pretty quick void in the office. And I started getting a lot of calls. And I like to share this part of the stories because I didn't think I would run, but I had a lot of calls. Deputies were calling me, people from the community were calling me and asking me to run for sheriff. And of course, it's expensive,
Yes.
to run. And so, anyway, at the Elks Lodge, had a bunch of the Elk brothers around, and they were putting some pressure on, and they were asking me, "Why aren't you running?" I said, "It takes money." And one guy said, "Well, how much do you think it's going to cost?" And I had no idea, so I just reached in my hip pocket and said, "About 50 grand." And he says, "Done. What's your next problem?"
Oh,
That's a nice little.
Well, what he did is he organized a couple of fundraisers because he knew how to do that, and it was no joke. And so I went home and talked to my bride, and we sat and talked, and we really, I said, "Hey, listen, I'm being pressured. They're wanting me to run, and I'm not going to do this if you don't want me to do it."
Yeah.
And
Smart
she just,
man.
Yeah, she just looked
Happy
at me.
wife, happy life.
Yeah, she just looked at me and she said, "If you don't do it, we're going to lose the sheriff's office." And I went,
Wow.
wow. So we prayed, and next thing you know, they started calling me California Chrome at the lodge because California Chrome was the non-favored, and then here I am. The fortunate part is during the campaign, my opponents. They were stand up, and then when it came to the general election, it was me and Pat Lunny. You couldn't ask for a more gracious man, and they accused us of having a bromance because there was nothing derogatory.
That's
No
how it
negative
should- that's
campaign
how it should
necessary.
be.
That is exactly how it should be.
And the folks were very thankful for that because it brought a positive light to, it can be done.
Right.
We're two completely different styles of how we do business, and the folks chose me. So here I am, up for re-election now, and I don't have an opponent, so that's just a good thing.
Yeah.
So I don't have to go
Chances
out
are
and-
good then.
Yes,
Chances are
very,
real
very good.
I joke now with folks. I said I need at least 3 votes because I think my wife's going to cancel one of them. So,
Well, it looks like Patricia Booth McCoy is going to be voting for you.
Yes.
Oh,
And she loves the sheriff.
well, thank you, Patricia. So anyhow, so here I am. So what do you ladies want to know?
Well, we were really impressed the first time we were able to see your team in action at the fairgrounds. And we kind of wanted to know, what do you and your officers do to keep the community safe?
Wow. I wish I had a crystal ball or something that I can actually tell you how this works. It's the men and women at the department. In our audience, you see Lieutenant Chuck Haley's the West Side Commander, and it's people like him that have embraced the community. You're talking about Los Banos. I equate Los Banos to Mayberry, but big.
Yeah.
The folks here truly love each other. The folks here want to have the lifestyle that's here, and the men and women at the sheriff's office have embraced the aspect. It's a quality of life thing that we try to do every single day, is improve the quality of life. Whether it's arresting somebody or picking up a dead cat or whatever it is. And the role of the sheriff's office is so broad that it's, we handle everything. We literally handle everything. And because I'm also the coroner, I'm the head dog catcher.
Chief
So
cook and bottle washer.
That's it.
We should make a list.
Yeah, the list is long.
Call Vern when.
So I've been very fortunate, and the command staff that we have at the sheriff's office is second to none. And they've embraced the philosophy of let's get the community together and let's get everything taken care of. I don't have to be around. They know what the answer is. They just take care of business. The wheel is just moving constantly, and they don't have to wait for me to show up if I decide to take a day off. They already know the answers, and they're moving forward with it. And it's not that they are forced with these. It's they know it. They've embraced it and they've accepted, what we're doing. So again, very blessed.
Very good. Sign of a good leader.
Yes,
Well, okay,
exactly.
thanks.
Exactly.
Now, I know you handle all the, what they call it, unincorporated areas, is that
Correct.
right language? Because I know you're in Dos Palace and.
Our primary function for our patrol bureau is the unincorporated areas, but some folks have a tendency to think that that's all we do. Well, let the ladies and gentlemen know that the sheriff's office is responsible for 100% of the county, and that includes
Wow.
the cities within the county. The folks in the cities have an opportunity to vote for sheriff. That means the sheriff is responsible to the folks in the city. I get a lot of calls because sometimes things happen within their cities that weren't up to, I'll call it to par or whatever, but they need a little extra nudge. And so I get folks that call me from within these cities saying, hey, can you give us a hand? Absolutely. And it's nice to have that responsiveness from the community and especially the cities, because they know I'm still their sheriff.
Right.
Okay, so, and as the chief law enforcement officer within the county, it falls on my shoulders. That's why I'm elected. I'm elected because the people need to have a representation of law enforcement that's gonna protect their interest. And the history of the sheriff goes way back, but that's why we have an elected sheriff, is so that the people have a voice within law enforcement and very reachable. So,
And you're definitely out in the community and very reachable. We really witnessed that at the fair as
Yeah.
well.
Yes.
Yes.
And
I
and
love
what
that fair.
what a great testament to you and your team.
Yes.
It's a large event. It was probably one of the best fairs we've ever been to, and we felt safe.
Yeah.
Well, that's the whole purpose of why we do it at this fair. It's community, and you know that you're doing it right when the place is absolutely packed, 11 o'clock at night, and you've got children Bryce's age running around.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, they're
Safe.
having a good time, and the
Yeah,
parents
and
are.
the parents aren't worried that
Yeah.
they're,
Yeah.
We take a zero tolerance stance to any negative activity, and so I literally live on the fairgrounds for that entire week.
Well, I think
Yeah.
also it was really nice for us to see how you worked so closely with the board of directors and Ron, the
Right.
general manager at the fairgrounds, that it was a seamless relationship. It wasn't us versus them, or that everybody was on the same page for safety.
And it was a positive
Yes.
environment.
Well, and that's why we want to keep it. My goal is that everybody coming through the gates, they're paying to come in and have a good time. And that's what we want to do. Is we guarantee that they're going to have a good time. So all the knuckleheads, they're gone.
Take care of them right away.
Take care of
Save
them
the
right away.
drama for you.
Yeah.
Not.
So,
You're
so,
not.
but thank you for the nice words about
Yeah,
the
it-
fair.
it was-
I
it was
really enjoyed the
excellent.
fair.
Yeah.
We were very impressed with all of your equipment that you all had at the fair.
Yeah.
Did you bring anything with you today?
Yeah, did you bring some
Just
stuff?
my old truck.
Your old truck. Yeah, okay.
Just my old
You know-
truck.
Yeah, that, okay, he's
Ow.
fibbing just a tad.
No,
There's
I'm not.
nothing
It's
old
old.
about this.
Yeah.
This
It's old.
pickup
It's
is
a
impressive.
2013.
Yeah.
It's 2013.
But it-
So, 5 years old.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
You know, our fair, the Los Banos Fair is the beginning of the fair circuit for the state of California every year.
How is it?
And we started
First
off.
one?
Yep,
Yeah.
every
kick
year.
off the season,
They
huh?
kick off
That's
the
great.
season, and I know, and Sheriff Vern, they have the helicopter,
Yep.
they have everything out there.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
Like a
you feel
rhino,
safe.
He's
It's
got a
like,
trailer,
yeah.
he's got
They got it all out
Roscoe.
there.
Yeah.
Roscoe.
Tell us about
What's
Roscoe.
Roscoe?
Oh my
How did you get a
gosh.
mascot?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
Oh
I've ever
my
known a
gosh.
sheriff with a mascot, but that's awesome.
I know.
Well, it started about a year and a half ago. The director of nursing for our prison came to me, and they wanted to go do a visitation with the children at Valley Children's Hospital.
Okay.
Yes.
So I went down to Valley Children's Hospital, and next thing you know, they're handing out little sheriff dolls. And they had little Velcro things for their hands to hang on the IV bottles.
Uh-huh.
And so, and I'm not
Yep.
paying any attention, and gave one little girl these dolls, and she grabs that doll, and she looks at that, she looks at me, she goes, "This is you." And I looked at that, then I looked at Amanda, I said, "I don't believe this." And they were laughing at me, they're saying, "We were wondering how long it was gonna take you." They had these dolls made, and next thing you know, I got my public information officer and Amanda got together, and they said, "We got an idea for a mascot." Next thing you know, Roscoe was born.
Well,
Okay.
Roscoe's great.
You know,
Yeah,
the
he's
kids
like a
love
guy.
him. You know, it's a positive thing for the kids, and the image that Roscoe portrays. There's no tactical. There's nothing. Just Roscoe's the sheriff, and Roscoe T-Star for Tin Star.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was gonna ask for the
man,
tea
you
We
got-
knew it was Roscoe too, and
Right,
I'm
you gotta
like,
bring
what was that?
Roscoe.
Yeah.
Roscoe's gotta come
Roscoe's
do the
gotta
show.
come.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
It's,
a
Roscoe's
guy.
kind of silent though.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we get him to talk. No,
You
so
can do
we've got-
hand gestures.
Yeah, he's,
Paw
Stop
gestures.
with,
he's a
stop
pretty
with the
big
hand.
guy
You know,
too.
he's
Like
big.
he's a
He's a
really
guy?
big
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a guy, not a. See, I haven't seen Roscoe.
Oh, you
You
haven't
know,
seen
I've
Roscoe?
never seen
Oh my
Roscoe.
gosh, I'll have to show you
Vern's gonna
pictures.
have to bring
Yeah,
Roscoe
Roscoe,
back.
yeah.
Man,
So,
see Roscoe.
anyway, so
Roscoe
we've got a
too.
mascot.
Yes,
So,
you do.
And it was on them, and they liked the idea, and they thought that something that kind of resembles what the persona that I'm giving for the sheriff, and so that Roscoe was born.
Right.
So we do have a mascot.
Yes,
So
you
thanks
do.
for
That's
embarrassing me.
We can thank your
We do
PIO
somebody.
and Amanda for that, yeah.
Exactly. Well, we were wondering if you could tell us a little bit about what your initiatives are for the next couple of years. What do you have planned for the future?
Right.
Keep going the way we're going. What's funny is you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And I've been in law enforcement for a very long time. This September will be 39 years with the sheriff's office.
Well,
Wow.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And, growing up as a cop and through the offices, and you always see things that you know are wrong, things that you'd like to see changed, and then you say, well, one day if I was king, well, guess what?
You're kidding, yeah.
Yeah.
So the biggest issue that I saw in our history was the divide and conquer within the sheriff's department, and it's one team. It's one team. We just have different assignments, and so we're getting away from the word division, going to
Oh,
bureaus,
nice.
and
Nice.
we're trying to make sure that there's a cohesiveness within our department. And it is starting to gel. We've changed a lot of things. We've got some innovative practices going on with regard to training the community. I'm in a very, very unique position as sheriff, one of the few sheriffs that actually has more people want to become a part of this agency than ever before.
Nice.
And it's come along, and we've got some very good quality people that are here. And when I took office, I had 28 vacancies in just the operational bureau, this patrolman. 28
Wow.
vacancies, that's a lot. When
That's
we're-
hard when you're servicing such a large
Oh my
county.
gosh, it's 2,200 square miles, and
2,200 square miles.
yeah,
Yeah.
a population of almost 300,000. And sometimes back in the day, we're on the street during the peak time with 6 deputies, the entire county.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's a lot of coverage
That's a
for
lot of
6
coverage.
people.
So the fortunate part is we've got a lot of people that want to be here. We've hired, I'm doing more hiring. I'm hiring again on Monday, and the next 2 Mondays in a row are going to be, I'll be swearing in more deputies.
Nice.
And we've got our patrol coverage back up. We're almost at 100% staffing on patrol. And just to give you an example, we went from 6 deputies. Now on an overlap, we've got a 10-hour shift that overlaps. During that overlap time, we can have 22 deputies on the street
Nice.
at
Wow.
one time.
Wow.
At one time. Our guys, the coverage is getting a lot better. Our guys are more proactive. They're turning over rocks. Just night before last, one of our deputies responded to an alarm at a pharmaceutical in Planada. Pursuit was on, 4 people in custody because they broke into it. We got a video. I mean, it was just, but he happened to be there. And on a regular night, it could have been that he'd have been a part of the other
Miles
2
and miles
miles
away.
and miles away.
Right.
But because we're back up to staffing levels, our guys are on top of things.
Right.
And Deputy Chilton did an outstanding job, and 4 people in custody. So,
That's great.
So we've got a lot of things going on. So we want to keep this momentum going. And I wouldn't be as successful as people are giving me the credit for if it wasn't for the staff at the sheriff's office, but the community. The community rallied behind me at a very strong time when we needed to get action taken. The community came to me. They contacted me, Sheriff, what can we do? Next thing you know, they're packing the boardroom, literally packing the boardroom. And without that kind of support, it would mean nothing. You know,
That's
the
true.
community is behind us.
Nice to be working with the community
They,
instead of against.
They contacted, and like I said, if it wasn't for them, you know, helping, and it is helping, we wouldn't be as successful. So, again, being blessed, you know, the West Side community here in Los Banos, you know, the community does pull together, and there were a lot of them rallying for me to make sure we got some things taken care of.
So what, you brought community, and
Mm-hmm.
we, as visitors here on a pretty regular basis, have fallen in love with the community and the
Yes,
people.
it's like our second home.
It is our second home. What are things that people in the community can do to work with your officers?
See something, say something,
Oh, that's perfect.
I like that.
okay?
See
You know,
something,
See something, say something.
Again, I always joke about a crystal ball, but, you know, we're out there, we're doing some things, but a lot of times folks will see something and say, nah, I don't want to get involved. Get involved.
Yeah.
Get
Yep.
involved, because without that support, we're useless.
It's extra eyes.
It is.
Extra eyes.
And call. They're saying, well, it's probably nothing. Well, most of the time it is nothing, but that
Right.
one time,
Yep.
that one time that you make the
Yes.
call.
Yes.
And that's the issue that we have to deal with, is one time, please make the call. If it is nothing, that's no big deal.
Right.
Okay, we're spending hours and time in the patrol cars. Let us go do it. But if we have your support and be willing to help us, you know, another issue that we have is like burglar alarms. Okay, pet peeve of mine, burglar alarms. The pet peeve part of it is years ago, and when I was a patrol sergeant, and this is why I took this stance, is if you've got an alarm for your house and it goes off, have somebody responsible go to the house with us. I was on patrol one night, alarm company calls our dispatch center, and starts to dispatch a car and says, oh, the alarm company contacted the homeowner, they're in town having dinner, want us to go check their house and let them know if anything's wrong.
Oh, wow.
No, this is how this works. If your house isn't important enough for you to respond, why should it be important enough for me
Exactly.
to respond?
That's just rude, man.
Yeah, so we've taken it, if you don't have a responder, and a lot of people got upset with that, well, how do I know what's wrong at your house?
Yeah, I don't know what.
Yeah.
Do you have the screens off being cleaned? Do you have a big, large land shark in the backyard? Dog?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for that, like,
Yeah.
Like land
Land
shark? Is this
shark.
a boat?
Why-
Is this?
Yeah, so if we've got somebody there, we'll go 100 times a night if we've got somebody going with us.
right.
Right.
But that's not my house, that's your house.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they were having dinner, Sharon.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were having
Wait,
dinner.
no, in fact, they called it.
So, you know, those stuff, but again, it's bringing them around,
Right.
and we're going, and so we want to help, but you know what? It's a team effort. We can't do this by ourselves. We've got to have the community involved.
So see something, say
Say
something.
See something, say
That's
something.
a real simple thing to remember.
Yeah.
Sheriff, what do you say to our kids? You know, we got, you know, every city's got issues.
Mhm.
With I call them Billy Bad Butts.
That's
All
a
the
new
kids.
one.
Yeah.
Should write these down.
I know, there's
Billy
so many
Bad.
great
I got a plethora of them. All the young people that want to be involved in things that are not, they're social, but they're not good social.
Right.
What's going on?
Well, idle hands, the devil's work. Yeah. There are so many things that are available, but a big issue, and I'm going to direct this at the parents, because the parents, and a lot of the parents, myself included, being a grandpa, and I've got the 3 grandsons, they're busy. But you know what? It's going to take a little extra effort on the parents' part to get them involved. You talk about the Boys and Girls Club coming to this side of the county. Outstanding. If there's an activity that you can't do anything unless you get involved.
Right.
You've got to get involved. And mom and dad, if you want your kids involved, then get them involved. You know, Lieutenant Hale's got a son that's in Little League, and the amount of juggling he does in his life to get his son to Little League. Okay, it's a commitment. Okay, but he's taken it to the umpteenth level and became their president or whatever it is this year. He's done a bang up job. We did a rollout for their opening day of Little League, and we had thousands of kids. Literally, I'm talking literally, one of the biggest things we've ever had. But you got to get them involved.
Right.
You know, you were talking about the folks, you know, ask. You know, like you say, if you don't ask, you don't get.
Right.
Get them involved. Now, I'm going to do a little touting for, it's now called scouting. And, well, they got away from the Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts. It's just scouting. But a part of the scouting is a program called Explorers.
Yes.
Yes.
That's how I got my start.
Yep.
Now, Explorers is not just for law enforcement. Explorers can be for fire department, can be for paramedics,
Right.
Briggs ambulance. There's even dental explorers. If there is
Wow, I did not know that.
if there is a profession that
They want to
you-
explore that profession.
explore
That's
that. Aviation. It started out with Sea Scouts. Kids were wanting
Right.
to know about it. Then it just branched out. And, you know, get involved. Again, do something. We're talking about the kids wanting to get the social part of it. Well, you know what? There is a social aspect of it. Everybody, we like the social aspect of it. When Paul Pereira was on earlier, he was talking about the blood drive. Well, you know what? When you get to reconnect and you get to do that, well, that's part of the enjoyment.
Yep.
Well, you know what? There's a lot of enjoyment with exploring. There's a lot that you can do, but you have to ask. If that's not your thing, then how about agriculture? Huge agriculture.
Definitely a lot of
Yeah.
that going on
FFA.
here.
FFA,
Yeah.
4-H.
4-H, yeah.
Get involved. Get
Yep.
involved. And you say, well, I'd like to raise a pig, but I don't have a place to do it. I'm here to tell you, there are people out there that
That'll
allow
help
you,
you.
they'll
Yep.
depend
That
on
will
their
help you.
property. You
Yep.
come out, but if you don't ask, it's not gonna happen.
Right.
So get involved with doing something like that. And I'll tell you, I was FFA and 4-H in Hillmore. And it teaches you a lot. It teaches you about responsibility. It teaches about caring. It teaches you about putting something else above you,
Yeah.
before you. And if you can't do that, okay, and that's the way I like about the
Yeah.
sheriff's office.
Yeah.
Everything else is before me.
Right.
And
Well, that's true. That's servant leadership.
Yeah.
yes,
Exactly.
and be a servant leader. And that's where you get the success, because you're talking about things coming back tenfold. I can't even begin to tell you how much I've received and not asking for it. It's just that the community comes in and helps me. The kind words that get shared with me on a daily basis is very inspiring. And I made a promise to my deputies that, because I met with every one of them prior to, right after I took office, that in my history as a deputy sheriff, we've had prior administrators that embarrassed us.
Yep.
Right.
And
Oh, yes.
okay, and so what I did is I made them a promise. I will not tarnish the badge that you're wearing. You don't tarnish it for me. And so that way they understand, I'm not gonna go out and get silly. You know, I'm not gonna be on the front page of the paper for being a knucklehead, okay? You know, there's just a whole host of what you need to do, and that's part of it. The servant leader.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I care very much about everybody in the sheriff's department, and it's from our correctional bureau to our courts to our animal care and our coroner's bureau. There's communications. Everybody's got an integral part of how this works. Well, if you don't take care of that, nothing works.
Right.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly.
Speaking of kind words, somebody said, I can't hear Vern, he's got a soft voice. I'm not sure we do that. But I want to say this too.
Yeah.
Geneva Brett says, I love our sheriff.
Yeah.
He's the real deal. He loves and protects Merced County and doesn't neglect the west side. Jerry Canosta said, you don't know what you don't know.
I like when you said that.
Yeah. And Christine Kinsey says, great job at the fair.
Thank you.
And Jerry said, so glad Vern Warnke is our sheriff. Ditto Jerry. Patricia, and some of the things you were talking about the Explorer, Patricia did not know that, thought it was just about the police, the Explorers, eh? And Scott Severa gives a thumbs up.
Hey, Scott. Hey, Scott.
Hey, Scott.
Yeah, Tim Rivers. Tim Rivers is my cousin from back east. Okay.
You got quite a
Ryan,
following
yeah.
today.
Yeah.
I think Patricia
It said-
wanted to
and she
talk
said-
about the Veterans
Patricia,
Parade,
yes,
right?
she did. Yes, she did. And let me see, Axe Vern. Okay, hold on. Here's
Oh,
good.
here's an.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Questions for the
Axe
audience.
Vern
Speak up.
about the bracelet he wears each day to work.
Oh,
I
wow.
was looking at that. And I was gonna say something.
That's very
When-
purposeful.
Well, it's ironic. About 3 doors down from here's a health food store.
Correct.
When I was running for sheriff, one of my friends had said, you know, the lady that owns it, Kathleen, had asked if I'd come by and talk to her. All right, because she wanted to know, and she's
Yeah.
inquiring about what my stances were. So I went
An
in and talked to her.
informed voter, we like that.
We love that.
And she's very, very much a part of this community, as is her whole family. Well, what ended up happening that day is we're in there talking, and her son comes into the store, and he was really downtrodden, and she could tell. And she said, "What's going on?" Well, he started talking about being pressured to smoke pot. Well, I spent 5 years as a DARE officer.
Oh,
And
yes.
so I sat him down and I asked her
Yeah.
permission to sit down with him, and I did. And so I ran over one of the things about peer pressure,
Yeah.
Right.
and it seemed to take a hold. So a month, maybe 2 months later, I decided, well, we had the street fair going on, and I was still campaigning, and so I went down to the store here, and Joshua had a table out in front, and he was selling bracelets. And I thought, well, I'm gonna buy a few bracelets. And when I started walking down there, he jumped up and he looked at me, "Mom, he's here." And I had to turn around and look behind me. What's he talking about? Well, he came up, gave me a hug, and he says, "I made something for you." I said, "Really?"
Wow.
And he says, "I made it in sheriff colors."
Wow.
Well,
Nice.
this bracelet is my litmus test, because if I was to break that boy's heart, and he's no longer a boy, my gosh, he's almost as tall as I am now. I mean, but he is my litmus test. I put this on and take it off every day as a reminder, because if I disappointed him, I figure I'd probably disappointed a lot of people. So this is why I wear this.
That's
You know,
awesome.
so this is with me as a reminder to always try and do the right thing. And
That's awesome.
sometimes it's tough. You know, sometimes you gotta make decisions that break somebody's heart, but that has to be done. But
Yeah.
that's why I wear this bracelet.
That's
a
awesome.
great. That's great.
That's great.
Thank you,
That's a
Geneva.
great story.
Thank you,
That's great.
Geneva. Now, I got that one locked in. I know
Yeah.
what it's for. Patricia said Vern and Roscoe are invited to the parade this year.
What can you tell us about the Veterans Parade?
You know, I think it's one of the
November 3rd.
November 3rd. It's one of the finest in this area, and they absolutely pay tribute to the veterans. This isn't a I'm going to call it, this isn't an advertisement for the local car dealers.
Right.
You know, it's an actual tribute to our veterans. And what we try to do is in honor of our veterans, because we have a Vietnam era helicopter,
Oh,
our
wow.
UH-1, and so we try and we'll fly that over the parade.
Oh, very
during
nice.
the
Oh,
thing.
very
So,
nice.
try not to be too low, because some of the guys still get a little jumpy when they hear Hueys. So, but
Yeah.
when we're asked, we try and show up on a lot of our parades, you know, because folks want to talk and see and, you know,
Yeah.
so on. So hopefully we'll be in line for that. And was that Geneva or
Patricia. That was Patricia Booth.
Yeah.
Patricia, send me an email, and then that way I can get it to my PIO so we can get it over there.
We've got all kinds of conversations
Patricia's
going on.
our president or director of the parade this year. We just had her on with the VFW and the American Legion talking about the parade. It's a unique parade. They actually do it is it the week before?
The
Week before.
Week before, so it doesn't interfere with a lot of the other
Because
bigger
there are so
parades.
many
Yeah,
other
parades,
areas,
yeah.
you know, and that's one thing that I love about this community is coming together. It's important for this community to do it so that it gives our folks here an opportunity to not only attend this one, but to attend others that are in the
Yeah, yeah.
That's
so
great.
it's really good.
Great idea.
The way
I
that they do
was
this.
impressed with that.
And so,
Laura K. Grusnickel?
okay, yeah.
I'm tearing some names up. Over there.
Sorry, Laura.
Just reading Laura. Laura says, working with Vern in the Explorer program was one of the best experiences in my life.
Oh, that's
He
awesome.
truly cares about kids and has helped several begin a career in law enforcement. I got a young lady I'm dealing with right now, a world-class sprinter. Used to go to Dos Palace High.
Yeah, well, her son is a lieutenant now at UC Merced Police Department.
Okay.
Wow.
There you
Okay.
So and he started out as one of our explorers.
Well,
Very
So-
good. Changing lives.
Yes.
I got a young lady, she wants to be a part of the sheriff department. Grew up in Dos Palace, working in a bank, and she's a world-class sprinter. And I told her, I said, I know the sheriff. I'm gonna get you an introduction. Lacey, if you're listening. She just said I missed the show. So, okay. No, it's still on. You haven't missed it. It's sitting right here. So we're live, baby. Okay. So let me see. It's a question with all the smartphones now. Do you find it hinders or helps your job?
Oh, that's a great question.
That's a very good question.
Patricia, she's
Well-
She's on it.
No, there's a lot of good part to that because, you know, we always try and maintain the utmost professionalism. So I don't have to worry about that with my guys. I just don't. And a lot of times with the smartphones, the only issue I have with that is sometimes folks will get a little too aggressive and they try and push their way into whatever it is we're doing. You know, folks, film us all you want, but stay out of our business.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just don't
Yeah.
get
Don't
involved.
get in
You
the
get
way.
up there, you want to film it, you by gosh, you right on and film it because a lot of times that helps me out too because every now and then I get, well,
You
you know,
need that.
your deputy said this, really? Let's see the film. And all of a sudden they're going, uh-oh.
Yeah.
You know, so,
That's what I heard, not
and-
what was said.
Yeah.
yeah, and our
Completely
deputies,
different thing.
Yeah.
our deputies wearing body cameras. So
Oh,
we're filming.
wow.
We're filming right back at you. So it's the hindrance part is only when the folks want to get up into our grill. And
Don't get up in their business.
don't get in our grill.
Don't
Yeah,
do
that's it.
So come on down. You can question anything we're doing because we're very transparent. But don't hinder us. Don't get at their
You ain't the police, so stay out of the police business. Look, let me quickly say something while I got such a broad audience. We got people in here. All right, wait, this is exciting. We got people all around the green room is popping right now.
You've
But,
never had us co-host.
You know,
Yeah.
never had co-hosts. You guys got to come over often.
Oh, no.
We've got some things. I need to say something about our sponsor. Of course, everybody knows we got a sponsor, 617 West Pacheco Boulevard. That's Santos Ford. Santos Ford, the Valley's, here's my best, the Valley's king of trucks. That's my reverb. And so we want to thank them for what they do, how they help us out by being a sponsor of the morning show. And thank
And a
Mr.
big part of this
Marion,
community.
big
Well,
part of
I
this
want to
community.
throw a little
Come on,
plug.
go
I want to
ahead.
throw a plug in there. Marion Santos is
we
he's
go.
such an integral part of what goes on here, and he truly gives from the heart.
Yeah.
He has done nothing but support the fair. My gosh, I say a lot of the fair's success throughout the history has got his fingerprints on it.
Yeah.
And to have him here doing what he does is truly a good thing. So if you got to buy a car, go help the
Go
man who
there.
helps the community.
Yep.
That's right.
Because again, the small town atmosphere, he's here. And I'm not saying it to blow sunshine in anybody's ear. That's a fact. What Marion
I
Santos is
like
doing.
We gotta write
I
that one
like
down.
that. Some new butt sunshine. Let's write that one down.
Such a
That's
better way to
what I
say
tell you,
that.
that's so good. Woo, I love this guy. Say, hey, now tell me that wasn't a good commercial for Santos.
That was a great
Lord, I tell you, Marion, you owe it.
He's already done it.
That-
You've already
send it
paid
to
him,
him.
man. Send that to you.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
those are things we're grateful for. This, once again, that's what this is about. Los Banos Today, your news, your town. We get your people our people, let me say our
Our
people,
people.
that come in and tell us what's going on. This man is an integral part, and I got to do my own plug now because somebody poached me.
Poached you?
Yeah, you got to watch this. We're having,
can't wait to.
this is going to be good.
Okay.
We're having a drive-by dinner at the Elks Club.
A drive-through dinner?
Drive-by? Drive-through.
A drive-by is completely different.
Totally different word. Huh?
Yeah, Sheriff
I
will
tell
take
you,
care
thank
of
you,
drive.
Vern.
Let's not use drive-by.
Drive-through dinner
Yeah,
at
drive-through.
the Elks Club on
Yeah.
July, what the date? 30th. July 30th. You heard why we need some more equipment. I had to have a comm in my ear and he could tell me that. I don't have to go, what's the date, Dave? So we're raising some funds to get some extra additional equipment, lavalier mics, those kind of things to help our show be better. So we're selling $10 tickets for a tri-tip dinner.
Oh, nice.
And so I had a lot of people that were buying from me. But since I wasn't here yesterday, I had sold 6 tickets basically. But I wasn't here yesterday, so all the people on my Rolodex got pilfered by another Rolodex. We got a ticket whisperer. Dave sold 55 tickets yesterday.
Dave's doing some
wow.
laps back there.
Oh, look, he's jumping up and down because he said, I don't want to, I'm going to beat Bruce. And I said, no, I had a head start. Now I'm like, so everybody out there, see these right here? Pastor Bruce, 831-333-6623. I need 56 today. So I can
No
take
pressure.
him out.
No pressure.
No pressure, but it's a tri-tip, so that's
gonna be good.
We're
And
going
it's
to
a
be good. And that's to help us continue.
Drive-through.
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 Not a
Yeah,
drive-by.
not a drive-through. Or help us continue to do what we do. We're having a great time. We're all volunteers. Another guy just came in, John Casey, was doing the evening show, but John's getting ready to run for higher land. Now he's going to a higher plane, so he had to break off. We got other people in the green room, but this man to my left, I perceive him to be, and I'm a pastor, so I can say this. I perceive him to be a man of God as he passes by, because every time I've seen him, he invokes certain things in his speech and in his lifestyle that lets me know I'm proud to have him as my friend. I'm proud to have him as our sheriff. He exudes confidence. Every time I've seen him, he's working with our kids, working with our adults, got a smile on his face, and Pawpaw Juarez is watching, whoever that is, Pawpaw. I like some of these people's names on this thing that come in here. So,
Well, Sheriff, do you have anything else that you'd like to tell us today?
Vote.
Thank you.
We started
We
this
started
I know,
with
I-
the thing, yep.
Just go out and vote. If you want to complain about things going on, you have a little more credibility if you voted for your beliefs. And, but it's real important to get out there, get your voice heard, and do your homework.
Yes.
Don't believe everything that you're reading on TV or seeing on TV, or reading in the papers. And I will share this, that if you've got anybody that's running for an office that has to beat up the other candidate,
oh man,
then
talk
that's
about it, man.
not,
Talk about it, man.
Here's why. If you have to show somebody else's shortcomings, you really don't have much to offer.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay? The folks can find out the shortcomings, they can know about this, but what do you have to offer as a candidate? Don't try and beat anybody up. Tell me, as a voter, why I should vote for you.
Yeah.
Don't tell me why I shouldn't vote for the other
Right,
person.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay? And so many times elections have come down to voting against somebody. Well, it's not that we wanted this person in there, we just wanted that person
Lesser
out.
of two
Yeah.
evils. they say.
Yeah, so, and a lot of times that can come back and bite you in the butt.
Yeah.
So do your homework, vote, and look up on the propositions. If you don't know about the propositions, don't vote on any of them, because you know.
It'd be amazing what can happen.
Yes. If you're not sure, don't, but read them up. Do some research, and do research on the individuals that are running for office. Google their names.
Yep.
Absolutely, Google their names. If they've been in the community, if they've been anywhere, you're gonna find some information on that person. But look it up yourself. Don't have somebody pointing out to you that's running against them to do it, because if you
Right.
have to do that, I'm sorry, you're not credible for me.
Right.
And show me and tell me why I need to vote for you. And that's what I'm sharing with you right now. Having lived this, and the fortunate part during my campaign is the man that ran against me in the general election was a stand-up man. There was none of this at all.
Yeah.
And so, but I've seen too many of the others, and we've all seen them, and you get to the point where you want to turn the TV off, but you know what? Take your time, research the person, and then make your decision.
Yeah.
That's great advice.
Los
Very
Banos,
good
if you're
advice.
not registered, go to www.vote.org. Get registered to vote. Your vote counts.
It really does.
Every vote.
If you don't vote, it don't count.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Real simple math, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got to get down and go do that. Truly a good man. They pouring it on, man.
Yep.
Everybody.
It's truly
We
a
really
good man.
appreciate you coming in
I
and
appreciate
sharing
the
some.
invitation, and welcome to Merced County.
Well, thank you.
I truly believe that this county can be the jewel of the state, because we've got a lot of great things going on in this county that's so diversified. The amount of attractions, I'll call them attractions, the natural, Los Banos, the baths, the natural springs in the foothills above us here is wonderful. That goes on a regular basis. I didn't realize how busy Merced County was until I got into this position.
You're like,
I knew
wow,
that
there's
there
a
was
lot of
some-
stuff going
Oh
on.
my gosh, almost every night. And so anyhow, come on down, take a look. Again, I do love this county, and I love what I do, and I'm very blessed to get up every morning. I get to do it. And my truck is old.
Your truck is pretty cool.
Your truck is really
Yeah.
cool. It's
Well,
got some
it's not
fancy
your grandpa's
stuff on it.
F-150.
No,
I can
No,
say
it
that.
is not. It is not.
I want one
I'm
like
gonna make
yours.
I'm gonna make a command decision. All of you sheriffs out there, the boss man is here, and I'm imploring you to all call me. 831. Now this is we're all in this. We're having healthy competition. Me and Dave are actually in a weight loss competition. We're
very nice.
a weight challenge. We're taking some real vitamins. I've lost since the 14th. I've lost 6 pounds.
Good job.
Congratulations.
We're eating
Congratulations.
right. Becky Butler, her show will be on next week. She'll be back and
Talking
eating,
more about
safety, cooking. So those are some of the things we're doing here to help out.
Thank you, Sheriff.
That's
Thank you. Thanks so much for coming.
Ladies, thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much for
much.
being.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you. Betcha. See you later.
Studio audience is going on. We got a real studio audience today. Listen, we're having a good time here. You're in tune to, if you don't know by now, I have to stand up every now and then. You're in tune to Las Vegas.
Oh,
I need tri-tip sandwich
Oh.
tickets.
How many you want?
I need 10 of them.
You want 10 of them?
there you
Talk,
go.
baby.
Right.
Hey, wait a minute. My tickets are at the house. But hey, these are mine now. Who's are these? No, baby. No, man. Never leave home without your tickets. Man.
Nice.
That's all right. I'm not going to pass the money out. You see that?
No. Here's what we do. What's the address here?
What's the address? What's that?
924 6th
6th
Street.
Street.
Come
Okay.
down and be a part of the audience.
Come on in
down
right
here.
now.
You can buy them in
Buy them all the
person right
tickets.
now.
Even though there'll be Dave's tickets.
But I'm going to come back for mine.
You'll come back for yours.
You keep the money.
I got the money. You can't have it.
I want your
He
tickets.
got
Oh,
mine.
there we go.
You get Pastor. You get some Pastor Brooks tickets. Listen to me. Look, and this is what it's all about. Today is the day that's going to go down in history as one of the most fun days we've had on Los Banos today. And